CBT Self-Help for Anger from getselfhelp.co.uk. Now there might be a reason that we get angry, and it might be something from our childhood or earlier life, which means that we've got into the pattern of reacting in a certain way. So that now when there is some trigger that reminds us of that earlier experience, we tend to get angry. And the thoughts that go with anger are something like, it's not fair, this is wrong, there is some injustice, and I must do something about it. So if we're thinking and believing those thoughts, we are going to feel angry or frustrated or irritated. You're going to get that adrenaline response, because that adrenaline helps ready us for action. That helps us energize us to do something about this injustice. So therefore, what we do is there's this urge to attack, to right this wrong. So we might present in different ways. Some of us might get physically aggressive. You might just feel really tense and get that urge to do something. We might get noisy and slam a door. We might shout or scream. We might sort of make ourselves look a bit bigger and threatening, sort of staring, eye contact. Or it might be just a little bit passive aggressive and that sarcasm. But we get caught up in this pattern of always reacting that way when our big unfair button has been pressed. And we need to change that. So we can learn to break the cycle by thinking or doing things differently. So we're still going to feel those triggers, but we can learn to react differently. We can use stop skill. We can learn to challenge the way we think. We can learn to not believe our thoughts and not pay so much attention to them. And we can learn skills that are going to help us do that. We also need to acknowledge and understand our past experience. And have some compassion for yourself. It's no wonder that you react this way, given your past experience. And you can learn to be aware of the sorts of situations that trigger this anger, that trigger your unfair button. And you can learn to do differently, to react in a very different way. You can learn and use coping skills, and rather than to attack, you can learn to gently withdraw from angry situations or approach kindly, because that is a much more effective way of dealing with the situation. So if we're thinking and doing differently, then you're going to be feeling much more calm, more composed, and makes you much more effective. To visit the webpage, get.gg/anger.htm. Follow the steps, download and print the worksheets, and you can also download guided self-help MP3s. www.getselfhelp.co.uk for CBT, self-help and therapy resources.